Alrighty, episode number 19 of West Coast Wednesday, where I'm going to be talking about how I felt about Evergreen and the whole race that went down that was won by Trevor Huddleston. And on the second part, we'll be talking about Gateway, where there are some implications, not for the West anymore, but on the East when it comes to a rivalry in the making. That is probably as intense than what we're seeing down in the West at this rate. Don't disregard the West, though. There is an interesting storyline going into the combo race, the second and final combo race of the season. So let's talk about Evergreen. First and foremost, next week will be the Evergreen highlights. And then the following week is going to be Gateway, or the week after, depends how I'm going to organize it. So yes, I'll be heading to Gateway in a couple of days, covering it, keeping an eye on it. Again, the IndyCar race is going to be the priority. During my downtime will be the K&N combo race, which will be in the afternoon instead of night for the second time they're going down there. So next week, highlights from Evergreen. The week after that will be Gateway, where I will more than likely give my raw thoughts there. Or what I may do is we'll see. Time will tell. Let's talk about Evergreen. Trevor Huddleston has entered himself as the ultimate dark horse to win the championship. Sure, when you look at the point standings, speaking of point standings, I'll mention this right now. On the last episode, the top 10 order were correct. The gap in total points were not. So, if anybody even paid attention to that, the points from that one were wrong. They were from before Iowa. There were the points essentially from Douglas County. That just for whatever reason, I forgot to put the Iowa points in it. But the top 10 standings were correct. When you see the championship standings after Evergreen, they are now correct to the right point. So when you look at the previous episode and you look at the one right now, it's a big difference. It's about 80 to 100 points at it. Just make that note that was my error. But yeah, Evergreen, Trevor Huddleston, that was no doubt his best race he's had in his entire career. He proved himself that he was not going to be denied. He came into Evergreen third in points, and now he comes to Gateway second in points. Yes, he is now second. Last year's runner-up for the Rookie of the Year battle is maybe making a true case for a championship run. He's got a lot of work to do, and when you look at the races that probably may have cost him a shot at the title over Krause, it's no doubt Colorado and Iowa. When the teammates tangled, Jagger Jones and Trevor Huddleston. Had the Sunrise Fords got through the melee that Deegan caused with Krause, there is no doubt that for sure the Sunrise Ford would be in this championship hunt. Period. No doubt they'll be in the championship hunt right now, particularly Huddleston. So I honestly would say the deficit would be much, much shorter and probably still be the most competitive championship out of the two regionals within the East and the West. Because we look at the East standings, it's pretty much decisive at this point, and it's now one particular title race to lose. Much like in the West, it is Krause's to lose. So no doubt Huddleston had a phenomenal race. Brittany Zamora did what she did. No doubt this was the race that I expected her to do well. She won the pole. This was her first qualifying pole. Second overall. Remember, she was credited to the pole for the second Tucson race because she set the fastest lap in the first race, as I mentioned a couple times this season. She had a good car. She led the opening laps, had a really, really good run. But Trevor Huddleston was right hot on her tails, and I knew when I was there from my vantage point that those Sunrise Fords came out to play. They were the defending winners. Sunrise Ford were. They won with Derek Thorne a year ago. They were looking for 2 in a row and also get their second win of the season. They hadn't won since that chaotic epic ending at Irwindale with Huddleston beat Tanner Gray at the line and then Huddleston's car wrecked. Fortunately for Huddleston, he made it through without wrecking the thing. But there was a wreck at the coming at the checker flag involving Josh Vanelopez. This was the second time Vanelopez was involved. The first time was the only incident caution. The rest were simply debris and, of course, the halfway break. I was thinking, most of the time I was within turn 1. Much of the time. A good chunk of it I was in the back. In between I was in the backstretch seeing what's going on between Zamora and Huddleston. And Huddleston kept gaining, gaining. He was just had much stronger runs. And when he finally passed Zamora to take the lead for the first time, That was a good run. He really made it. He really crept into that gap and really crept into that deficit. And that told me that he probably wants that championship. He's hungry for it. He's taking advantage of Deegan's struggle. Speaking of Hailie Deegan, the left rear tire really did her in big time. She struggled in the closing laps. And when I was at turn one, from my vantage point, I felt like that would make the difference. That tire may not have enough strength. And lo and behold, it was definitely the case. She just struggled at the very end, and you can safely say that her shot of a second chance, well, not really second chance, an opportunity to win the championship over Kraus or gain points over Kraus, is dead in the water. It's now Huddleston and Kraus for the championship. Bar none. When you look at the combo race coming up, you can safely say Huddleston is going to be the only guy that can threaten Kraus. But Kraus is the defending winner of Gateway. Huddleston has a lot of work to do. When in Iowa, he does too. Because before the contact in Iowa, it was Jagger Jones the best of the West. Not counting Kraus, of course, because Kraus had that incident with Max McLaughlin and put him into the wall, lost a lap, rebounded nicely. I'm telling you, that Iowa race proved that he capitalizes. That's the one thing he did not have a year ago, finding an opportunity to capitalize. And Kraus did have a really good run. He did lead for a good portion of the time, and it looked like this was going to be finally Kraus's revenge. Kraus's vengeance at Evergreen, because 17, he made contact with a couple of drivers, got black flag for it. Last year, he completely owned the field before fuel engine problems kicked in, knocked him out of the running. This year, he had a clean race, and that's what he needed to have. It's a clean run. He certainly did with a great result in his championship quest. But no doubt, Zamora, what probably cost her is again one of the restarts that cost her dearly. It certainly did. And the restart for some reason she cannot capitalize. And that's what did her in at Tucson. Imagine if Zamora won at Tucson and Evergreen, and she not had that engine problem at Sonoma, and she had not had that problem at Iowa. We'd be talking about Zamora maybe in that championship trail. The reason why I have not mentioned her in this championship quest is because she's out of the running. She's probably not going to win Rookie of the Year over Jagger Jones because of those two costly results in Sonoma and Iowa. That's not just the bottom line. We only have Gateway, then the month break, then we have Meridian, All-America, Kern, and Phoenix. There's 5 rounds remaining. In that combo race, Sunrise Ford did what they could. Zamora not been a factor in those East races except for Bristol, the first Bristol race. So it's just kind of how this season has been. It's like you gotta be consistent and upfront the whole entire time. And Huddleston is the only guy after 9 rounds to have finished in the top 10 in every single one of them. That is a definite true case. He's been up there. He's just been quiet, but he's made a statement this past Saturday at Evergreen. And the weather was good. Sure, there was some clouds, some peaks, but it finished accordingly. There were not a lot of drama. It was a clean, mellow race with some near moments. Like, speaking of Hailie Deegan and Kraus had a really good battle that almost saw both of them make contact. Just Deegan struggled with car handling, and Evergreen, she certainly did. And almost 2 times that could have been, and Deegan could have turned Kraus around, could have collected her. There was even a time where Trenton Mariotti would have been a victim, or even Jagger Jones. There was a couple times that could have happened for Deegan. And as far as the Deegan double, which she ran at Bristol with DGR Crossley in the 54, that's primarily Drew Dollar. Not a good showing. Again, this is basically a more top tier equipment for the East side, and she's just did not show it. This has been a struggle this summer. The whole summer stretch has been egregiously disappointing and egregiously bad, to be quite honest. Because she had the big field of Sonoma, then the 2 combo races, I just don't see it's her bid of a championship is probably not it's out of reach at this rate. Unless Kraus has problems or two drivers in particular on the east side tangle and Kraus gets in it out of his own control and Deegan has a really good run and Huddleston as well, then maybe we'll have a more stuff to talk about in this championship. But she struggled at Bristol. She struggled, let's be honest, struggled at Evergreen. And Gateway, who knows what will happen. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the results of Evergreen Speedway. For the second time of his career, Trevor Huddleston won in the K&N West, winning at Evergreen for the running of the NAPA Auto Parts 150 presented by ENEOS. Derek Cross finished second, Brittany Zamora in third, Trenton Moriarty, the local guy out of Washington, finishes fourth, and the Jeff Jefferson machine, Jagger Jones, right out the top five. Todd Susan sixth, Haley Deegan seventh, Devin Dodson in eighth, Jack Wood ninth, and Travis Milburn running at the top 10. And in the bottom six is John Wood, Taylor Canfield, who entered Evergreen in the number 35 before switching to the 34, Josh Fenelopez, Bobby Hillis Jr., and the Camry Toyota finished 14th, Tony Concedo at 15th, and Takuma Koga rounds out the field. He is the last car winner. Shout out to Brock and Williams Acquay on that one. With only 4 cautions, 16 laps, 3 lead changes amongst 3 drivers, with Huddleston leading the most laps at 85. With that being said, here are the top 10 championship trail standings from the west side. Derek Cross has an 18-point lead over Trevor Huddleston. Deegan is now 22 markers. Jagger Jones is in 4th, 28. Brittany Zamora is down to 62 points behind. Todd Souza in 6th. Travis Milburn in 7th. Takuma Koga makes a big leap in this championship trail. Now he's in 8th. And the 2 Levine Racing cars that are out for the rest of the season, with maybe a slight chance of Phoenix for their return, notably 10th place man Cody Vanderwall. And now let's talk about the East, the transition to the combo race at Gateway. With Derek Kraus not running at Bristol, he dropped from 2nd to 6th in this title chase. Mayer is the championship leader after a controversial and big win at Bristol. He swept the Thunder Valley races. He is now 22 points ahead of Chase Cavery, his biggest rival in this trail right now. Max McLaughlin in 3rd, 37 behind. Tanner Gray in 4th, 39. Spencer Davis 5th, 49. And an additional 10 points behind is Kraus. 7th is Ruben Garcia Jr., Colin Garrett 8th, Drew Dollar in 9th, and Haley Deegan rounds out the top 10. Gateway. For the Monaco Cocktails Gateway Classic 125 at World Wide Technology Gateway. I'm sorry, I force of habit. I had to do the Titus. I had to do the Titus O'Neil, the Titus Worldwide shtick. How's Titus O'Neil been doing in the WWE these days? I haven't even watched wrestling in ages. I went to a wrestling show after Evergreen, but anyways. Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway is the actual name. Let's shorten the Gateway. Boy, that was a mouthful. And let's just call it the Monaco Cocktails 125. That will be the race before the Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Gateway. The final oval race of the season for IndyCar. The third and last round of the season. And it's, the IndyCar side, and it's been the buzz of all buzzes for probably the wrong reasons after another horrific crash at Pocono. Fortunately, everybody made it through okay, especially Felix Rosenquist. But boy, thank goodness he's okay, and only just the left front ripped off from the fence. That's fortunately that's the only thing the fence hit. It's just the left front of Rosenquist's car. Boy, that was an ugly situation. And then the weather got ugly, and Will Power, for the 13th straight season, he wins an IndyCar race. All right, let's go talk about NASCAR. The final combo race of the season, the 10th round of the championship trail for both East and West. And as far as the East is concerned, there's only 4 more rounds remaining. There's not a lot of races left. No, correction. There's only 3 more rounds, because remember, one of the races got canceled. I was thinking of the old schedule, but the time is running out for Chase Cavery, period. Chase Cavery had a lower back pain injury after contact from Sam Mayer on the opening lap. And when you look at the replay and the photo, Mayer did not slow down. He purposely took Gabriel out. He tried to take him out. He purposely did that. Because there's been blood boiling tensions going on. So obviously the one hot ticket is Gabriel versus Mayer for this combo race. And when you see the hype video, which I don't know what I'm going to do with that one, it may be similar to Evergreen where I'll record my own stuff and put it up on Friday or Saturday, depending on what I'm going to do with it. But you'll see it for sure. Sorry, you'll see it for sure. Do apologize that the hype video came out much later, but hey, if I have time to record my own personal shit, I'm going to make the most of it. As you saw with some clips out there, that was during the Friday session. So you'll get, that's what I meant about the special hype videos. For some, I'm able to do it, especially Evergreen, because it's literally 30 minutes from where I'm from the track. I'm 30 minutes away from the track, to be frank. So Gateway, I would like to do the same thing. But obviously, the big thing about this combo race is, of course, the top two in the East title chase. Sam Mayer is 16 years old. He just ran his first truck race as well. Like a couple hours later. Of course, nobody's talking about the truck race. Nobody's talking about Brett Moffitt winning. Nobody's talking about Mayer having a good run. Nobody's talking about Chandler Smith having a stellar run or the red flag. Well, hold on. The red flag was all the buzz, but not the red flag. It's what happened to one particular driver from the DGR Crossley squad. And her name is Natalie Decker, and I probably had a lot to do with the Skinner recording of Nixon. So sorry. Did not expect that audio clip that I sent to Nixon to blow up that way. There was already another one that was out before, so theoretically speaking, I kind of felt I was not the main source. No, I wasn't the first one. And that's fine. I'd rather not be the first one in this case, because let's be frank, Decker is not good, period. Kevin Hamlin, somebody buy him a beer. At least he's got a cup winner as he's spotting for in the name of Alex Bowman. Okay. What Mayer did was clearly deliberate, period. Will we see that from Gabriel? And fortunately, Gabriel is listed on this entry list that he'll run. So fortunately, he'll be running. I mean, Jeff Gordon ran with a back problem for a good year or two before he finally fixed it. So tough as nails, Chase Gabriel. He wants that championship. But imagine if he was not cleared. Oh, man. That will not bode well for Gabriel. That will not bode well for Rev Racing. And, yeah, that would have been an ugly situation. That basically a little tap. Everyone was a tap ended the season of Gabriel. Fortunately, we will not be having to worry about that. But I have a feeling we will see payback for Gabriel. Gabriel's going to do the payback on Sam Mayer. There's no question about it. He's going to do it. I have a feeling he will do it if he gets a chance to do so. So without further ado, let's talk about the entry list. There are 19 in this one. In Iowa, there were 20. And when you look at the entry, when I saw the entry list, I was trying to figure who's the one that is not running. Then I saw there's no 17 car. That was Ty Gibbs at Iowa, Drew Dolan in a 54. Instead, we do have Visconti Motorsports at Gateway this time around. So it turns out the 22 car, the one with the Yates font that ran a Bristol and that almost got on the way of a really good battle between Jones, Spencer Davis, Drew Dollar, and those guys. He won't be running. But everybody else who that ran at Iowa, the cars are essentially there. So number 1, Max McLaughlin. Number 2, Ruben Garcia Jr. Number 4, Chase Gabriel. Number 6, Jagger Jones. Number 08, Travis Milburn. And more likely the case, like at Iowa, Krause, Samora, Deegan, and Milburn will be credited for both East and West points. I'd imagine it's the same case for Gateway. Trevor Huddleston, number 9. Number 13, Todd Susan, Tanner Grant at 15. Krause 16, Colin Garrett 18, Haley Deegan at number 19. For this one, number 21, the championship leader of the East, Sam Mayer. 30, Spencer Davis. Josh Fenna-Lopez will make his return. Hopefully it's a much better race this time around in the 36 car. 38, John Wood. Ty Gibbs is this week's driver of the 54 for DGR Crossley. Ty Gibbs won the ARCA race at Gateway in a race where Tanner Gray got wrecked in turn number one. What was it, turn 1 or turn 3? Wrecked. And then Natalie Decker's truck wrecked at Gateway. And speaking of Decker, she will not be running at Mosport. Instead, it's Raphael Lessard from Canada. And I imagine Dennis Setzer and family's blood are boiling on that one. Decker will be running Trans Am Road America. So the one chance that she probably could have done decent, she's doing something else. But anyways, I digress. Parker Retzlaff, number 74 for Visconti. Parker Retzlaff is the guy, the 74. Not Brandon McReynolds that most people associate with the 74 in the East. Takuma Koga to 77 and Brittany Samora in the number 99. We will see the black Napa filters car instead of the orange ENEOS that she runs in the West. So that is your entry list. Speaking of Takuma Koga, I found out at Evergreen that once a year he brings his family members to one race a year, and this year it was Evergreen. It's a nice showing. And then also another thing, you want to talk about bearded drivers that people should know about? Taylor Canfield. People talk about Chet Phillip. Man, Taylor Canfield's got a pretty good beard. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could grow one like that, but that's not my genetics. My genetics don't have that in my system. Anyways, it was a good race at Evergreen. I expect the same thing for Gateway, where it's going to be more unpredictable. It's not going to be too predictable like it was at Iowa, where the East stomped a mud hole at everybody in the West. This one I expect to be a relatively even level playing field. It's got to be, don't you think? Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about Evergreen and the preview of Gateway. It's pretty straightforward. It's getting crunch time for this championship trail for both ends. And yes, next week you'll get the Evergreen highlights. You'll probably also get a raw thought of Gateway, separate episodes, and then the following week will be the Gateway highlights. When I'm at the track, I typically don't have time to record the K&N races. Somebody uploads them on YouTube, so, and of course they get credit for it, because that's how I do things. They get credited for it. And I really have to rely on people's videos for highlights. You'll still get highlights. But then after that, it's pretty calm. And then we got the last 4 races. We got Meridian. Then we got Kern, All-American. Then Phoenix. Not in that order, by the way. You got those races coming up. I think these races are going to be a true indicator if Kraus is going to be champion. If he gets out of here with a really good points run and maybe win it again, give the title to Kraus for the West. And if the same thing applies for Mayer, because they have their season ends earlier. They got Dober as their championship finale. So a lot is going to go down. So this is a race this is Deegan's last shot of catching Kraus, let alone get back to second in points. I honestly believe. But we do have Meridian after Gateway. So a lot is going to happen. A lot is going to boil down. So with that being said, thank you for listening to my thoughts of Evergreen and then also the preview of Gateway. Keep an eye on that hype video for Gateway in the next coming days. So until we meet again, my personal pick to win for Gateway, I'm going to have to go with Chase Cavery on this one. The dark horse is going to be Ty Gibbs. The one to watch is indeed Trevor Huddleston. In the meantime, catch you guys later.